Imagine a floating city the size of 4 city blocks. That gives you an idea of the scale of the USS Abraham Lincoln, a Nimitz-class nuclear supercarrier. Stretching 1,092 feet long and displacing over 104,300 tons, it's heavier than any other warship on the planet. But this isn't just a ship. It's a declaration of power written in steel and nuclear reactors. On its deck, it carries 90 aircraft, essentially a mobile air force that can be deployed anywhere in the world. Its crew of 5,700 people is larger than the population of many small cities. And thanks to its nuclear power source, it can operate for 20 to 25 years without ever needing to refuel. It is a command center, a deterrent, and a symbol all rolled into one. Right now, this single ship is at the epicenter of the most dangerous conflict in decades, and we're about to explore why it matters so much. We've seen the sheer scale of the Abraham Lincoln, but now let's talk about exclusivity. Operating an aircraft carrier is a capability that only 14 nations in the entire world possess. Within this elite club, the United States stands alone. The USA operates 11 active carriers, which is more than all other nations combined. For perspective, China has 3 carriers, the UK has 2, France operates 1 nuclear carrier, and India has 2. The remaining 9 nations operate even smaller platforms. This incredible disparity demonstrates overwhelming American naval supremacy. So we know it's part of an exclusive and powerful fleet. But how does a floating fortress like this actually defend itself? The reason sinking the Abraham Lincoln is so difficult comes down to its layered defense systems. Think of it like an onion of destruction, with multiple rings of protection. The last line of defense is the Phalanx CIWS, an autonomous Gatling gun that fires 4,500 rounds per minute to shred incoming threats. Further out, Sea Sparrow missiles create a protective bubble, intercepting hostile aircraft and missiles from up to 20 kilometers away. And for overwhelming threats, rolling airframe missiles are fire-and-forget weapons, ready to counter a swarm attack. The effectiveness of these systems is proven by a sobering fact. No aircraft carrier has been sunk in combat since 1942. Even Iran's recent missile claims were debunked by photos showing the carrier continuing its operations completely unharmed. But even with all this protection, is there a limit to what one ship can achieve? We've seen the ship's incredible defenses, but now we arrive at the strategic gamble. In the context of the Iran War, which began on February 28, 2026, the Abraham Lincoln's role is deterrence. With the Strait of Hormuz, the artery for 20% of the world's oil, partially blockaded, the carrier's presence is meant to project overwhelming power and stability. While Iran's missile attacks have been military failures, they can be framed as propaganda victories. This brings us to the central question: can deterrence still work in a conflict driven by ideology? The Abraham Lincoln is a floating fortress, but even fortresses can be surrounded. The real question is not whether the ship can survive an attack. It is whether its presence makes war more or less likely. That is the 100,000-ton question, and it is the gamble the United States is making right now.